Hello students, welcome to online class. In the last class we have started the second unit, that is planning of audit and control, and we have discussed regarding the auditor, that is the meaning of auditor, then what are the qualities he should have to become an auditor of a company, that we have discussed. Okay, so in today's class we'll discuss regarding the qualification, disqualification, appointment, removal, remuneration, rights and duties, liabilities of an auditor. So, in upcoming classes, we are going to discuss all these topics. Okay, that is what qualification he should have. When the auditor will be disqualified, then appointment of the auditor, his removal, then remuneration, what remuneration he is going to get, then rights and duties of an auditor, then what liabilities he should bear. Okay, those all topics we are going to study in upcoming classes. Okay, so let's begin with the class. First we'll understand what we are going to study, that is introduction. Okay, the auditor has to get himself acquainted with various provisions of the Companies Act relating to his qualification, disqualification, appointment, removal, remuneration, rights and duties. Before understanding this introduction, okay, as compared to the sole proprietorship or partnership, the company form of organization differs in one important respect. We have discussed regarding this thing, right, while studying the classification of audit, right, on the basis of ownership. So, as compared to the sole proprietorship or partnership, the company form of organization differs in one important respect, and it is that the business like sole proprietorship or a partnership firm is managed by the owners or the partners, right? Whereas in case of a company, the ownership of the company and the management is managed in, that is managed by different persons. That is, the shareholders who are the owners of the company have no right to take part in the management of the business. See, in case of company, ownership of the company and the management persons are different. Ownership is with the shareholders, whereas management is with the owners of the company. Sorry, the managers of the company, or that is, the persons are different. The owners are different, and the management of the company is in the hands of different persons, right? So the shareholders who are the owners of the company have no right to take part in the management of the business. So to ensure the money invested by the shareholders are managed properly, it is made compulsory under the Companies Act for the companies to get their accounts audited every year. As I've told you, the company is having the different persons for the ownership of the company as well as for the management of the company. So, in order to ensure the money invested by the shareholders, the owners, are managed properly, it should be managed properly. So, for that purpose, under the Companies Act, company has to get their accounts audited every year. So, the audit is compulsory for the most of the audit undertaken by professional auditors are company audit. Okay, so therefore what we have discussed is, therefore auditor has to get himself prepared. Acquainted means prepared with various provisions of the Companies Act. He should have a knowledge of various provisions of the Companies Act relating to his qualification, relating to his disqualification, related to his appointment, related to removal, related to remuneration, related to rights and duties. Let's take an example. If you are going to join your job, then you should have a knowledge of your job profile, your appointment, right? Then your interview, your qualification, right? Then your remuneration, your rights and your duties in that particular job, right? When you will be having that knowledge, you will be able to work properly. Similarly, even an auditor should have knowledge of the provisions of Companies Act which are relating to his qualification, his disqualification, his appointment, his removal, his remuneration, his rights and his duties in the company. Okay, so in today's class we'll discuss regarding qualifications of the auditor, qualification of an auditor. See, according to the provision in the section 226 of the Companies Act has laid down qualification of an auditor. Okay, the section 226 of the Companies Act has laid on what? Qualifications of an auditor. Now, the first point is a chartered accountant who is a member of ICAI and holding certificate of practice and should practice in India. Now we'll understand what are the qualifications he should have to become an auditor in the company. That will understand one by one. The first point is what? A chartered accountant who is a member of ICAI and holding certificate of practice and should practice in India. That is, according to the provision of Chartered Accountants Act 1949, a person who is a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is qualified as an auditor and can be appointed as an auditor of the company. He should be a chartered accountant and he should be a member of ICAI, that is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and he should hold the certificate of practice. He should practice that chartered accountant, being a CA, and he should practice that chartered accountant course in India. Okay, then a partnership firm practicing CAs, that is any firm who is or who are the partners are qualified and practicing chartered accountants, and those who possess the above mentioned eligibility, such firm can practice in the name of the firm. That is, a firm who is a partner of the company and who is qualified, that is, who has pursued chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and practicing chartered accountants, and those who possesses the above mentioned eligibility, such firm can practice in the name of the firm. Then, holder of certificate under Part B States Act 1956, that is, a person holding a certificate under restricted auditor's certificate, that is Part B of the State Rules Act 1956, is also qualified to act as an auditor of a company. Next, the government authorities sought to regulate the accountancy profession, but in case of this person holding a certificate under a restricted auditor certificate, okay, the central government is empowered to cancel the validity of such certificates. Okay, only the central government under the Part B of State Rules 1956 can issue that certificate to act as an auditor, and the central government is empowered to cancel the validity of such certificates. The central government formulated the Certificate Auditors Rule 1961 as well. Okay, so these are the qualifications which a person should have to become an auditor in the company. Okay, next comes is disqualification of an auditor. See, the following persons should not be eligible for the appointment as an auditor of the company. Then what are those disqualifications? Who are those persons who cannot act as an auditor in the company? That we'll discuss one by one. First one is an officer or employee of the company. If a person is working with the company, then he cannot become an auditor. And if he is an officer who will be regularly visiting the company or who is indirectly connected with the company, cannot become an auditor of that particular company. Then a partner of the company, a person who is a partner or who is the employment or an officer or an employee of the company cannot act as an auditor. Only in one case the partner can act as an auditor if he is practicing chartered accountants and eligibility mentioned in the qualifications. If he is having those qualifications, then only he can act as an auditor. Otherwise, any of the person who is a partner of the company, any of the person who is employer of the company, any of the person who is employee or officer of the company cannot act as an auditor. Then a person or a firm who, whether that is a person who has relationship with the company, that is a person or a firm who, whether directly or indirectly, has a business relationship with the company, okay, or subsidiary of such holding company or associate company of such nature may be prescribed. That is, if a person is having any relationship with the company, whether he is he is a seller of the raw materials or he is a customer of this company, okay, he cannot, whether it is directly or indirectly, cannot become an auditor if he will be having the relationship with the company. Then a person who is relative of the director, a person who is relative of director or is in the employment of the company as a director or key managerial personnel. If a person is acting as a director of a company, cannot act as an auditor. If he is a key managerial personnel, key managerial employee of the company, cannot act as an employee. If he is having any relationship with the director, if he is a relative of the director or any of the key managerial personnel, he cannot act as an auditor. If he is an uncle or if he is an aunt of that director, if he is a distant relative of an director or any of the managerial personnel, then that person will not be having right to act as an auditor of that particular company. Then a person who is in full-time employment elsewhere, a person who is in full-time employment elsewhere, or a person or a partner of a firm holding appointment as its auditor of other companies, if such persons or partner is at the date of such appointment or reappointment holding appointment as auditor of more than 20 companies, will not act as an auditor. Okay, then comes is a person who has been convicted by a court of an offense. That is, a person who has been guilty of a particular crime, okay, and who is convicted by a court of an offense involving in fraud. A period of 10 years has not elapsed from the date of such conviction, okay, such type of person will not be act as an auditor. Okay, if a person is guilty of a particular crime, he cannot act as an auditor of a particular company. And if he is involving in any fraud and a person who is a period of 10 years has not completed from the date of such conviction, he cannot act as an auditor. If he has not completed 10 years of his 10 years of his period from the date of the conviction, if he has not completed the 10 years, then he cannot become an auditor. So these are the disqualification of an auditor. Okay, the other things like appointment, removal, rights and duties of an auditor will discuss in the next class. Thank you.